Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Here I am starting a new project. Well, I kind of started it already. This is a uh, military 2.25 petrol engine block. Um, I got about 7 engines. This is one of them. Um, the previous owner that had them removed it, and they did some other different swap. So I started going through it. Before I take it to the machinist, I always like to, clean them up as much as possible. Get them ready for machining. Try to strip off all the paint as possible, and clean it up so that when it comes back from the machining, I can paint it, do very little prep, and give it a nice fresh coat of paint. This one engine, it sat outside for some time, so I want to clean all these up, if possible, clean them up, but I doubt it. I think it's gonna have to be bored over. So far, I don't know what they had when I got the the um, the engine. I took out the crank, but the crank seemed to be 10 over, which means they probably worked on the cylinders. They might be bored over. I don't know. So I'm gonna go by whatever the machinist readings are. We'll bore them out or keep them standard, whatever. We'll just go from there once he gets it under his hands and looks it over. But first, the most important thing is one of the things, if you take it to like a machine shop, they boil it, but they won't be able to get all the rust out. This cylinder number 4 was up to here. You can kind of see where the scale of the rust was. It was backed up over years, probably poor, maintenance. So this part of the block, all this whole thing, all the way across, obviously, this is the low point of the block where the flush plug goes, or valve or gate, whatever gate valve you put on here. This is the lowest point of the block. This one still steps down a little bit further down, so I think a lot of water just stood up right here in this area, and this whole wall was probably overheating or something was going on because of the excess rust scale in here. I don't think it's I don't think the walls are compromised. Everything looks okay. It should build up just dirt, over the years, scale, but probably not flushing it regularly. So I pulled out the plugs. It was it wasn't the hardest thing in the world, but you got to be careful because there was so much rust. They were really stuck on there, so it was hard to get them out. I did pour some PV blaster, let them sit there. Didn't do much work, but you could tell the pitting on this one. These are no bueno, no good. So these are not good at all. So I pulled them out. What I did is I hit it in the middle and then worked my way to the end. And then at the end, just with the Dremel, just slowly until you kind of leave a little thin piece of metal without hitting the actual block. And then after that, with the chisel, it breaks off. Once you get it really thin, it just breaks off. I try not to get too close to where it scores the, see how this one also, you can see, it's almost razor sharp because I got to the edge and then I left it alone, and then with the chisel, let the chisel do the work. You gotta be careful not to hit the walls and bang them and break and crack them. So you gotta be careful with the chisel when you get in there and try to remove these plugs. Then on one of these, this one was really stuck, so I had to use a screw, put it in, and then try to pop it out. It worked, finally got it out. So I went to Home Depot, and what I'm gonna do, I don't like to use like harsh chemicals on these engines, or stuff will overflow and get into the ground. So I don't like to use CLR or anything like that. Plus CLR, once it dries up, what do you get rid of it? You know, some people flush it down the toilet or down the sewer, but I don't like to do that. So I use just plain old vinegar. It takes a lot longer, but you know, it does the work. You just gotta be patient and stay on top of it. You gotta keep it topped off, because I started doing this the other day and then I realized it wasn't making a seal. So you can see when it dries up, you can see this sort of when the minerals start to detach, and then it becomes harder to remove. So you gotta stay on top of it, clean it, wash it, flush it, do it again, repeat the process several times. I went to Home Depot and I got these 2-inch caps, or expandable caps, rubber caps. They call them grippers. This is a 2-inch. The block is 1 15/16. I believe it's the actual ID of the hole. So I got 3 of these because I got like 3 more engines that I gotta do. So rather than putting in a plug and then removing it, and you gotta be able to get in there and flush it all the way down. So I went and got these. They fit perfect. I mean, they go in, they sit nicely. This one's the one that has the wall the closest for some reason, but anyways, it still tightens up nicely. So I got 3 of them. And I also removed the timing chain cover, and I made this. I had this leftover PVC schedule 80, but doesn't really matter. So this is a piece of rubber that I had left over from a pond. So I put the rubber. I had these extra bolts that I had laying around. Cleaned out the thread, chased the threads out, making sure that they're really nice and clean so you don't cross thread them. And I put this little cap here. So I got it capped off here, I got it capped off here. So now I can actually fill it up. Right now I'm gonna try to level it first and make sure this is leveled so it gets vinegar all the way to the top. So I'm gonna start doing this process. So I got this little funnel here, very cute. I don't know where I got it, but drop it in there and then just start filling up. You gotta stay on top of it. Again, flush it every like 2-3 hours, maybe. Leave it the first couple days, just maybe do it every 3-4 hours or every 6 hours. I don't know. I'm gonna try it on this one, see how long I can keep it, because it's very dense in there, and you want to remove as much as whatever has been softened, and then flush it out so that it gets to the new rust that's on there. And just, I'm gonna try to use a pressure washer to get some pressure around the jacket to push the water out and the vinegar out and the rust out. So it's gonna be probably like 3-4 day sort of, but you want to do the machine shop really don't do this. I'm sure they do, but they'll probably charge an arm and a leg because it's laborious and takes a lot of time. But this is like, I'm in it right now. This is like $1.50 or $2, whatever it is. I'm sure it's gone up with the latest inflation prices, but these were like $4.50 each. So I'm about $15, like probably under $20 so far. And you just gotta stay on top of it, clean it up, and make sure that it's clean before you strip the paint and then take it to the machinist. Machinists always appreciate a clean block. Makes it easier for them to work on it. They feel like you actually care about your items. So I always like to give them a nice clean block so that they can feel proud about their work when it's done. That doesn't look like a junky old. Plus, you don't want to do this in post after machining. You're gonna get flash rust all over the place. So you want to almost have it ready so that when it comes back, you just paint it, and then you can start assembling it, and you're not creating more problems again down the line. So I'm gonna start doing this right now. Got a little, see how good I can do it. Oh, not bad. As you can tell, it's just plain old vinegar. And I think one of these is takes up about a gallon or a gallon and something plus. You can put a little bit of water, dilute it, doesn't matter. I like using as much full strength as possible at the beginning. Anyways, you guys get the drift. I'll maybe do another update on this on another video, showing you more of the scale and stuff that comes off of it, and maybe perhaps just a little update so you guys can see what the crud that comes out of there. I've removed a lot of it with the pick. You can use a screwdriver too. Just be careful not to hit it with the hammer or anything and crack your water jacket, your cylinder walls. Anyways, I'm gonna stop right here because it's gonna get boring, you guys just watching this. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, so I decided I forgot to show you guys this. So these are a different set of rods that I found. They were a little bit with the flash. They had a little flash rust on there. So here I put them in this box right here, this oil pan, and they're almost done. They've been there about 3-4 days. You know, they're pretty clean now. I'm gonna put them in through water, but you can tell that it removed almost all the rust. All this that you see here, it's gonna just drop right off with surface, with water and a little bit of a brush. But you could tell it's pretty clean now. Here, let me grab a little sponge so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get this little sponge. Most likely these, I don't know what size they are. They had a little bit of, I'll let the machinist do the final call on them, but they might need to be redone. So I don't know if you can tell, but here's some of the markings. It's hard to tell. Right now they're so dirty. Anyways, so here, I'm gonna do a little sample. I'm gonna rinse it a little bit. I'm gonna put it right here for the camera to see. And you could tell, look, do a little cleaning, little brushing, real soft, doesn't have to be. You can use, I like to use brass brushes. They're really good for cleaning out and getting them all nice and ready for the machinist. These rods will probably, these connecting rods will probably be used on this military engine. So you can tell how clean they come out. Just a little bit of sweeping, just sweeping the surface. Here, I'll show you guys right here. See that? Really clean. Everything just kind of drops off really nicely. I'll probably use a wire brass brush just to get everything nice and clean. And as soon as you're done with this, you know, rinse them really well quickly. Let them sit in the sun. They'll get a little bit of like flash rust, but then you gotta just shoot them with penetrating oil, or I like to use where is it? It's not on here. I'm sure you guys have seen my other videos. Where is the little, here it is. I'm gonna get this one out. I'm gonna need it anyways. like to use fluid film just to keep the flash rusting from happening and continuing. So I'll hit them with this so that when I take them to the machine, they're nice and lubed up and clean. Obviously, they'll probably use cutting oil and all that stuff, so they'll be fine. Anyways, I'm gonna continue finishing these up, and maybe I'll post a photo of how they are on my Instagram, so you guys can follow on Rovatori. I'll post a link on the description so you guys can see the outcome of these. All right, talk to you guys later.